Let's be honest. Finding a lawn care service that does more than just, well, cut the grass can be a real challenge. Today, we're going to take a look at a company called Troupe Lawn Co. and their promise of something a little different. Guaranteed, tender, loving care for your property.
So, let me ask you a question. Right off the bat, think about your own yard, or maybe a commercial property you manage. Is it really getting the care it deserves? Are you always wondering, are they going to do a good job this time? Are they even going to show up? It's a super common frustration, and it's the exact problem we're going to explore a solution for today.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to meet the team behind the name. Then we'll walk through all the services they offer. After that, we'll dig into what they call the TLC difference, see it in action with a real-world example, and then of course, we'll cover your next steps. Let's dive in.
First up, let's talk about the people. Because really, to understand the quality of any service, you've got to understand the values of the folks who are actually doing the work.
Troupe Lawn Co. has a really unique identity. They're a family-run operation right in Palm Coast, Florida, and on top of that, they're proudly Black-owned, woman-owned, and veteran-led. Now, this isn't just about checking a bunch of boxes. This combination creates a powerful foundation built on different strengths and a deep, deep commitment to service.
And that foundation really comes from two leaders who bring different but perfectly complementary skills to the table. You've got Levie Troupe III, a U.S. Navy veteran who brings that military-level discipline and an eye for precision to every single job. And then you have Angela Snyder, a sharp, strategic business leader who makes sure the company's vision and client care are always the top priority. That's a heck of a combination.
And these aren't just buzzwords they put on a website. They're promises. We're talking about reliability, open communication, respect, and doing the work with real heart. Look, if you've ever dealt with a service that ghosted you or hit you with a surprise bill, you know just how crucial these values are. This is basically their DNA.
Okay, so we've seen the values, but how does that actually play out on the ground? This next part is all about what they do to turn your property into your own personal sanctuary.
First, you've got the fundamentals. This is the engine that keeps your property looking amazing all year long. You know, the mowing, the edging, the blowing, the weeding, all the essentials, but done right every single time. But notice those extras, grass health checks and seasonal adjustments. In a place like Florida, that's huge. It means they're thinking ahead, managing the crazy summer humidity and the dry winters, stuff that a generic service might totally overlook. It's about being proactive, not just reactive.
But you know, what if you want more than just a perfectly maintained lawn? This is where things get really cool. We're talking mulch installation, seasonal planting, sod replacement, even power washing. These are the kinds of services that truly transform a space and add serious value and enjoyment. And yeah, they absolutely love taking on a custom project.
So we've seen who they are and what they do. Now we get to the most important question. How do they do it better? This right here is the heart of what makes them different.
And it all starts with this core philosophy. See, for them, the goal isn't just to check a task off a list. The real goal is a result that you can be proud of, one that's built on a relationship you can actually trust. The amazing curb appeal? That's just the natural outcome of getting the trust and pride parts right.
So how does that philosophy actually look in practice? Well, it starts with what they call veteran precision. This means every line is edged with intention. Every task is done to an incredibly high standard. And being reliable? That's just non-negotiable. It's that military-grade discipline applied right to your lawn. Okay, this next point solves one of the biggest headaches in property care. No more guessing games. They're all about being on time, having transparent pricing with no hidden fees, and keeping you in the loop with proactive communication. They show up when they say they will, period. You always know what's going on. This one is all about mindset. You know, it's the difference between a job and a craft. When a team treats your property with the same care and attention to detail as they would their very own, the results just speak for themselves. It's about being personally invested in how it turns out.
And finally, all that passion is backed up by some serious professional expertise. Being certified in Florida Green Industry's best management practices means they're not just winging it. They're trained in the most effective and eco-friendly techniques specifically for Florida landscapes. It's a real seal of quality and knowledge.
Look, talk is one thing, but proof is something else entirely. So let's look at a concrete example of how this all comes together. We're going to check out a site audit they did for a big commercial property.
63. Let that number sink in for a second. That's how many separate problems Troupe Lawn Co. found during their initial audit of the Nautilus condominium complex. Not just, hey, the grass is a little long, but 63 distinct, actionable issues. That right there shows a level of detail that goes way beyond a quick walkthrough.
And here you can see exactly how they operate. They don't just find problems, they show up with clear, targeted solutions for every single one. From replacing dead sod and strategically trimming overgrown trees to completely restoring flower beds and even doing a full cleanup of an overflow parking lot. It's a comprehensive plan of attack, not just a quote from mowing.
Okay, so after seeing the who, the what, and how, the final question is, what's next? This section makes the path forward super simple and clear.
The key word here is flexibility. It doesn't matter if you need a one-time cleanup, a regular weekly service, or comprehensive care for a huge commercial property, they've got an option for you. This is not a one-size-fits-all deal, and it all starts with a free estimate, so you get recommendations tailored just for you with zero commitment.
And taking that next step couldn't be easier. A phone call, an email, or a quick visit to their website is all it takes to schedule that free, no-obligation estimate and just start the conversation about what your property really needs.
And we'll end with this final thought, which honestly just says it all. This reframes the whole thing. It's not a transaction. It's about becoming part of a family that takes real pride in caring for your space like it's their own. So the real question isn't just who's going to mow your lawn, but who do you actually trust to care for your property?